Hi guys, welcome to another video on Tech with Chakul. Now this is a setup video, and in really short time I'm gonna set up a virtual machine on an AWS cloud. So let's get started. So the agenda for today is we're gonna spin up a virtual machine on AWS. Now if you guys don't have an AWS account, please refer to my video on Let's Hack AWS Cloud Hackathon. There I've set up an account on AWS from scratch, so you can follow along very easily. Next up, I want to create an SSH terminal. Now in my SSH video I talked about how we can create SSH terminal to a VM on cloud, so that I can write on my commands and press enter, and so those commands will be executed there. So concepts about private key and public key, if you guys can recall, so those will be discussed in today also. So we'll be using a software called PuTTY for doing this. PuTTY helps me to configure those keys very easily. Next up, we will be using WinSCP. So suppose I want to transfer some files from my local to my cloud, so I can use that using file transfer protocol. So WinSCP is one such tool which helps me establish that connection. So without any further ado, let's hop on to our AWS cloud platform. So okay, I'll just sign into my console. Okay, techwithchakul@gmail.com. Next, I need to put password. So I'm logged in. So here you can go to services and compute. Within compute, you can go to EC2. Now on this EC2, you can go to running instances. It would show you blank if you're setting up the account for the first time. It shows 2 VMs for me. You can click launch instance at the right hand side. Now these are different kinds of Linux or Windows or all those kind of OS which are present. You can use any of the ones which you want to. There is Red Hat, there is Windows, different kind of Windows, and different kind of there are also specific need based servers which are available, like for deep learning. If you have some deep learning networks which you need to run, so there are different utility based on your utility. There are different types of things which are available, and there is a free tier eligible tag which is written in front of every resource. So if your account is a free tier account, so you might want to use only those servers which are of free tier eligible. So I'll just go to this Ubuntu server 20.04, which is the latest version of Ubuntu, and I would want to set up a Ubuntu VM. So I will just select this 64-bit because I'm using 64-bit. Now this gives me the types of instances that I want to set up. So T2 micro, there's nano, micro, small, and stuff like that. So there is a lot of things, but in the free tier only T2 micro is available. T2 micro has one CPU, it has 1 GB of RAM. You can increase your RAM and CPU anytime after creating the instance also. It's not like that it's hard coded that you have first once created cannot change. It's not like that. You can create afterwards also, but I would recommend for general purposes, for anything you want to do, like run some small applications, you can use T2 micro very easily. It has sufficient compute that your task will be done. So I will just select T2 micro and just review and launch. So this gives me a bunch of options. You can look it all, but it gives me what are the security groups and all of this instant details, what will be the stuff like that. So this will be given. Now I will just do a launch. I would want to, now this is the public key and private key that I was talking about. It says a key pair consists of public key that AWS stores, because AWS is a server where I would want to connect. So public key will be stored by AWS as well. A private key that you store. So private key is just personal to me. I will keep it. All right. That's what I told you about in the SSH lesson, if you could recall. So I would want to create a new key pair, and I would want to name it as Tech with Chakul instance. All right. So I will just download this key pair. So if you can see, .pem file is the extension which is given to my private file. So this key has been downloaded. Now this .pem is something which PuTTY, which we'll be using for SSH, it doesn't understand .pem, so that's why we would want to convert it into a PPK version. We'll do it later, but I'm just telling you that this is a PEM file. We'll be using a PPK version. Alright, so I'll launch my instance. As you can see, your instance are now launching. You can see it up running there, running once. So it shows pending status. I think so it will take a couple of minutes to run. Alright, I think so it should be up, and yeah, it shows running. So that's how quick it is. You can set up a VM in under 1 minute, I think so. So that's cool. Now we want an SSH terminal into this. So most of the clouds provide SSH terminal functionality over here only, but we'll go one step further. We'll download PuTTY, install for Windows. So this is the link. You can go to putty.org. I'll copy paste this link on description as well. You can click here and you can select where you want to install. I want to install on my Windows machine, so I will use this, and I'm using a 64-bit, so I'll click on this. It has downloaded. I'll click on this. Next, some configuration, install. Finish. So it gives, I think so, successfully installed. Let's check if PuTTY is there. Now PuTTY is there. PuTTY comes with something called as PuTTYgen. If you search PuTTY in your system, it will also give you PuTTYgen. So I'll also open PuTTYgen if you want. Yeah, so these are the two terminals which I have. This one is for PuTTY, the another one is for PuTTYgen. Now let's first start with PuTTY generation. Now this is basically a key generating software which comes in the package of PuTTY. Now as I mentioned, this is a .pem file and the PuTTY would accept a .ppk file. So what I can do is I can easily convert this to a .ppk version. I have to select this option, load an existing private key file. I will load this, and inside my downloads I will just select all files. Yeah, this is the .pem file that I just downloaded. I'll open this. Okay, I would want to give a key phrase because this is basically my password to this file. So I will just give a key phrase just for security purposes. I will now click save private key file and it will give me a ppk. You can see this. Now I will save it using the, let's say, shuffle. Save. So it has saved. Let's open downloads, and if you can see downloads tech with chuckle, this is a .ppk file. Alright, so we'll use this when we are using PuTTY. So let's just go to PuTTY. Now here you need to write the host. Now host, if you just hop on to this terminal and click on this, this gives me a public IP address. This public IP address is my host. So I'll just copy on this, and the default username is Ubuntu @ and just paste your IP address over here. The port will be 22 and I want an SSH terminal, so this is SSH. You also can connect via telnet. I told you about telnet also, but it's not secured, so I will use SSH. Now within this you have something on the left hand side. You have something called SSH. So I will just click on that plus icon. Inside auth, I will have to select my private key file. Now this doesn't mean I'm sharing my private key file. It's just I am keeping it with my PuTTY, so that anytime it is connecting to my VM on cloud, it knows my private key file location, so that it can decrypt the message. Understand? So I will just tell him where my private key file is. So I have given this. Now I can just click on open. So this is the first security alert which always comes when I try to connect. You can just click on yes. Okay, now it asked me for the passphrase that I entered for my key file, so I will just write the passphrase. and bingo, I'm inside my VM. I can do anything over here. I can do install anything that I want to run any command. I can do it over here. So this is how SSH terminal I can securely connect to my VM on cloud. So this is one part of the video. The second part is I want to transfer some files. So for that I'll be using WinSCP. So just do WinSCP install for Windows, download install WinSCP. So this link I will copy in the description. I can just click on this and my download should start. Yeah, so I will just click on this one. Okay, install for all users. Accept, next, install. Finish. Now my PuTTY WinSCP is also installed, right? WinSCP, let's search. Yeah, it's there. So I will just click and open my WinSCP portal. So this is how WinSCP looks, brand new. So now I don't have anything configured over here. So similar to PuTTY, I will just type Ubuntu @ and copy paste my IP over here. I can type my username Ubuntu. Now password, I don't have a password as of now, but I have a private key file. So I'll click on advanced option, again SSH authentication, and browse my file over here. So tech with Shakul, open, okay, log. Yes. Now again I need to find okay, passphrase I have entered. Now bingo, I have connected a file transfer. I have connected a session, FTP session, to my VM. I can copy paste anything, I can create anything over there. Let's try and create something. So in I should have some, let's say this. So I will just take this over to the other side, it will copy. Okay, let's try and transfer these files. So for now my ls command didn't give anything, right, because there was nothing. Let's rerun this command. So it shows me that okay, there is a video.2 jpg, it's there. So that is how we can easily transfer our files from our local to our cloud. So I think in a very short video I was able to explain to you how you can set up a cloud VM from scratch, and you can set up a SSH terminal, a WinSCP terminal, so that you can do whatever you want to do. You can enter any commands, you can enter any file, create files, and do a lot of stuff. So thanks a lot, keep watching.